This happens every time. Shit explodes, and then I gotta drink it off the side like a sippy cup. You know, like that. Why can't I have a normal Diet Dr. Pepper? It's actually delicious. So, you've read the title of the video, or you just clicked on it randomly, in case I'll tell you the title. I think Blue Lock's message is 100% correct. I actually do. And I know a lot of people either love or hate Blue Lock. It's one of those two. I think Blue Lock's message is 100% correct. Excuse me. Sorry, I have my tablet right here because I have a list of things. You know what, I might as well just put it right here. I have a list of things I want to talk about in today's video. So it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be enjoyable. So, I don't want to, dilly-dally too long because I have a lot of things I want to talk about. So I'm going to get to it right away. If I can find the goddamn volume. Here it is. Blue Lock is probably my second favorite sports series. It's also the second series the last sports series that I have, and the second one. So it's kind of disappointing if you think about it. Now, Blue Lock. So I'm going to talk about the plot of Blue Lock. So basically, Japan, they get defeated like extremely terrible, like they're just washed, like Japan's soccer team. And there's this thing. So the representatives who create, or the people who run soccer, at least in Japan, they go, okay, well, we don't have anybody. Let's start this giant. I guess you would call it game. This giant training program, I guess you'd call it program, where they recruit 300 of the best strikers, like high school strikers in Japan, and they put them in a giant box, in a giant program called Blue Lock, and only one of them can come out victorious and become the world's best striker. Or at least Japan's best striker. We don't know about the world. So, we follow our main character named Isagi. I forgot his last name. Hold on. Football Union. Alright, well, it doesn't tell me his name right away. So, whatever. I'm just gonna call him. I know his name's Isagi. So, we follow Isagi, and basically he gets into this game. He's in this like finale game. He's about to go to nationals, and he's coming up on the goal, and he can shoot it right now with a chance of making a goal, or he could pass it to a player next to him, and he would probably make the goal. That's what he does, because obviously soccer is a game played with 11 people. It's all about teamwork. It's all about teamwork. So he passes it to the player next to him, and he misses. And on the way home, on his bike on the way home, he's wondering, well, if I didn't pass it to him, could we have won? Could we have won? And that thought rings into his mind. Also rings into him when he arrives in Blue Lock. So, if you're probably wondering, oh, why do you think the plot's so good? Well, if you didn't know, this is about me. I am a professional boxer. I do box. I don't do boxing for a living, but I have a license. I can box. Okay, and in boxing, the number one thing you need to have is ego. That's the one thing you need to have. Well, what's the message of Blue Lock? It's to have ego. Literally on the back, it says, are you the world's top egoist? You need to have that ego. You need to have that passion. You need to have that confidence. You need to be cocky in order to be a soccer player. Same thing with a boxer. You need to be. I know they're different because soccer is a team sport. Boxing is an individual sport. But in boxing, if you I know this is gonna sound weird, but boxing is a team sport. It's a team sport only in amateurs, really. It's really just in amateurs. It's a team sport. And that's because usually when you're in amateurs, you will have other teammates and you'll have other people beside you while you're training. And in boxing, I'm just talking about boxing right now. Boxing, usually the match isn't very difficult. The match is usually very easy. What's difficult is the training. So the training is the sport. The training is the match. The training is your opponent. That's what happens in boxing. That's why it's a team sport, because you and your teammates are going through that training together. That's why boxing is a team sport. At least in amateurs. I don't know about professionals, like actually people who make money, like Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Jerome Menace. You know those people. Sugar Ray Leonard. Obviously a bunch of famous boxers. Muhammad Ali. His name in boxers at this point. Ryan Garcia. And it's the same thing here. Because obviously, or I should probably talk about this, but at the end of the day, boxing is an individual sport. Yes, it's a team sport while you're training, but in that ring, it's just you and your opponent. No one else is there to help you. Not even your coach who's shouting out what you gotta do. You gotta do that. No one else is there to help you. Might be surprised to say this, but might be surprised to hear this. Same with Blue Lock. Yeah, it's a team sport with 11 players on each team, but at the end of the day, there's only going to be 2 people facing each other. The striker and the goalie. It's only those 2 at the end of the day. Because whoever makes the most points is the best player on that team. It's fact. So you can see the similarities between these two, right? Like you don't really have that with basketball. You don't really have that with football either. Or you do sometimes when with the running back and shit. Sorry. My eyes are burning. And it's me. I'm done talking about boxing right now. But the real message of Blue Lock is have an ego. You need to have an ego. You need to be this monster. You need to have that confidence. You need to have that cockiness, that egotism. You need to be selfish, basically. You need to be selfish. I watched a YouTube video, like an inspiring speech about it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be cocky. It's okay to think that you're good. It's okay to think that you're good. Like if you're with an opponent, or if you're fighting someone, or you're doing anything, the first step is believing that you can do it. That is the first step. I know it sounds cheesy, but it really is. That's the first step of doing anything, is to believe that you can do it. It's really the first step, and it's probably the easiest. Because after you believe you can do it, you just got to do a bunch of shit training to be able to do it. Like, obviously, you're not going to draw on a page and become an artist your first panel. Alright, I don't really know panel. Your first paper or whatever, or your first drawing, you're not going to become an artist. Your first painting, anything. Alright? You're not going to be able to run 26 miles per hour on your first run. Okay? It takes time to build up that training. You can have all the confidence in the world, but obviously you got to train. But it's still the first step, is to have confidence, be selfish. If you're facing someone like, if you're an average basketball player and you're going up, what team is LeBron on now? I don't even remember. What, the Lakers? What? Is he, the Cavaliers? No, he left, right? I don't know, whatever. Let's say you're facing LeBron James. Obviously you're not going to win, because it's LeBron fucking James. But you gotta believe that you can. I know that sounds cheesy. I know. But you have to think selfishly and you have to be cocky about it. It's like, yeah, LeBron James got nothing on me. I can beat his ass, no problem. You just gotta think that way about every single little thing in your life. Obviously not to an extent where it's like, oh, I'm so much better than everyone. I'm all these people are better than me. You can't think like that. But when a roadblock comes in your life, you gotta be tough about it. And that's what Blue Lock says expertly well. And I've only read the first volume. And now it comes where let's take a deep dive in the main character. Actually, let's take a deep dive into the main character, Isagi. Here's a little spoilers for Blue Lock. I know, obviously, there's a Blue Lock review. Some spoilers for Blue Lock. Skip to the video. I'm not going to put a timestamp. I don't care that much. But there's a part in Blue Lock where they're doing, you know, the thing where it's like the tag thing, where they're trying to pass the ball around, right? And then I forgot his name, the 300th player. I'm just going to call him the 300th player. 300th player, he's got like a sprained ankle or whatever, right? And Isagi's got the ball, and it's super easy to go get him. It's super easy to go just finish him off and then be able to win, right? But he doesn't do that. He goes after the strongest guy there, who was at the point, the rank 291. I think his name was like Megatsu or something like that. Hold on, let me go find his name real quick. Meguru. He goes after Meguru, and I think he doesn't hit him, but he goes after him, and he goes after the strongest player because that's how you improve. That's how you think in your mind. That's how you improve. And I also wanted to touch upon this. Isagi, the way Blue Lock is explained is a bit unorthodox if you think about it. Most sports manga are about teamwork, being part of the team, becoming stronger with your teammates, friendship, you know, good sportsmanship. And these are all valid points. I'm not saying teamwork is nothing. I'm not saying teamwork is not important. Teamwork is 100% important. But would you rather have a team full of 12, you know, a basketball team of LeBron James who can't work together? Or a team of a bunch of like average players who do have teamwork? I would rather take the LeBron James though, because they're just better at basketball. That's what happens in Blue Lock. That is what Blue Lock is about. And we get to learn this with Isagi. At the beginning, Isagi has the same mentality as the audience, or at least when the audience, or at least, you know, the average manga reader who is reading this story. And he has the same take of soccer is played by 11 people. It's a teamwork. You need to have teamwork and able to, you know, play soccer. And he gets to a point where he loses, and he thinks to himself, well, if I just scored that point, we could have won. If I just, you know, if I tried to, you know, kick it to the goalie, if I tried to kick it into the goal, would I have gotten it? And he thinks about this for a while, and he goes and, you know, he gets a letter in the mail for Blue Lock. He goes to Blue Lock, and what's pretty funny there, he goes there, and, you know, Jinpachi goes going on his whole speech about how, you know, like how egotism is a necessity in, I keep trying to say volleyball, in soccer, in soccer, and I forgot his name. There's one character, he's like the, oh my god, what's his name? I forgot his name, oh my god, I'm actually gonna cry. Ryosuke. I'm just gonna call him Ryo, whatever. And Ryosuke, he's a player who's better than Isagi, and he has a different mentality than Jinpachi Ego, which is a sport is played by, you know, 11 people. And, oops, that it's played by 11 people, and he gets booted out first. He's the first person that gets booted out, destroying that mentality that Isagi had. That's just, it's a crazy metaphor and it's crazy writing that the first thing that you agree with that character that, oh, it's played by 11 people, and he gets out first. He's no longer part of the story. And it's great. It's good because now now there's no conflict anymore with, at least with the message of the story. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it's the monster thing, where Meguru talks about him wanting, or he has a monster inside of him or something like that. And it's really just, when he means monster, he just means that animal, you know what I mean? Like that lion inside of you. If you've ever done a sport, and you've ever got really competitive, you have that lion inside of you that just gets angry, that just has just gets angry, you know what I mean? Like you just want to break a wall in half. That's what the monster inside of him is. It's the competitive nature, but it's also the selfishness combined with it. And the last thing I want to touch on, the last thing I really want to say, selfishness is a gift. You need to have selfishness to have competitiveness. If you don't have selfishness in most sports, then you can't play the sport, all right? You're not going to be, obviously you need people to have teamwork, but at the end of the day, whoever scores more points is the winner. If you have a team of unselfish people who just want to pass the ball, you're never going to make a point. And the team with the more points wins. It's not the team with the most teamwork. It's the team with the most points. They're the ones who win. They're the ones who get the goal. They're the ones who make the points. They're the ones who get the trophy at the end. Now you're, oh my god, I want to have teamwork. Those teams don't win because they are a team. It's a team. Okay? I know it makes no sense whatsoever. I know. Read Blue Lock. Just read it. If you don't understand what I'm saying, and you really have no clue what I'm talking about, read Blue Lock, and then you'll understand. They do 100% better way of explaining it. So, in conclusion, you need to be an asshole to get bitches.